she enters the room. Hello everyone, PolishLynx here. We are back with Narcissu side second. Good morning. Or evening. It depends what time was it. Good morning. Exchanging our morning greetings, I sat down in the usual folding chair. Then, when I looked at the tray, she had already finished eating. Oh, leaving so much again? I'm sorry. Between one day and the next, she wound up barely eating. That's no good. You need to eat properly. But I'm not hungry. Well, if that's the case, we can eat in the cafeteria, okay? Even with that suggestion, no response. Though before, even if it wasn't for ice cream, she'd happily go. To not eat. That, on the 7th floor, was a deadly thing. Unlike other wards, full-blown nutrient-forward drips were not given here. Of course, there's some sugar contained in them, but the main purpose was rehydration. The word deadly meant exactly that. It was immediately linked to death. You know, if you do this, very soon you will get weaker. Get weaker? Yeah. If you don't eat, your body won't be able to hold up. Then, after getting weak? Yeah? If my body gets even weaker, what will happen? That's... Here my words stopped. In my throat, I swallowed the word die. Normally, preaching about life, and also death, was the duty of the church. Our duty was also to support that. And here was the 7th floor, a place where we speak to those who have lived life peacefully of coming death. However, for a young girl, for a girl who could not have been said to have fully lived, just who in the world could speak of death now. Exactly, in these times. Maybe I should have let her hear the words of Saint Augustine or Lord Jesus, but for me, offering up half a prayer and buying ice cream was about all I could do. It is getting tough. A few days after, late night. As always, the girl ate very little. And at that girl's side, again I was sleeping in the spare bed. You alright? Late at night in the dark hospital room, the girl was coughing. Right now, all I could do was gently pat her back. The past few days, because she had been leaving most of her food, it was noticeable that her strength was weakening, and now she was clearly avoiding me. If I spoke to her, she would barely make a response, and the times where she would speak to me on her own totally disappeared. Amongst all that, suddenly, she opened her mouth. Say, One-san, please, I'm returning it. The rosary? What she took out of her pajama pocket was a rosary, without a doubt the only that I had given her before. And also, I want you to not come here anymore. Why are you suddenly saying that? That's... There, her words stopped. Since a few days ago the girl had definitely been acting strangely. And then, a single thing came to mind. This is something from a while ago, but I'm sure that you said a lady you didn't know had spoken to you, right? And just maybe, it has something to do with rules? At that question, there was no response. However, I thought the silence wasn't a no, but a yes. I had been convinced that this was a rumor, but it looks like that kind of legacy did exist, and most likely the girl had heard it. If it's okay, will you tell Ona-san? It's okay. I will absolutely keep it a secret. I said I can't tell anyone. Finally, she cried, even though until now, not once had she cried. Rules. Before that, all that I had heard was that they were only passed to the residents of this 7th floor. Essentially, it was probably only the problem of those who were headed towards death. That was why, for me, I might not have the right to hear. No matter how close I was Alois, I could not become the patriarcha who accompanies them in death. In the end, nothing other than someone watching from the side. I'm sorry. I won't ask anymore. Simply just patting her back, so that just even a little bit sooner she would stop crying. Just a little bit sooner. She would smile for me. Just a little bit sooner. The girl continued to cry, but the legacy that was passed down, what was in there was simple to imagine. Don't it? That was the shortest road to death. That was something that us helpers had also suspected. Coming to a place like this 7th floor, people who died from the worsening of sickness was rare. Instead, almost as if on their own, they gave up food, simply weakening and then dying. I learned that those were common. Most likely, that was not for their own sake. Financially, psychologically, for various reasons, it was probably an act stemming from wanting to lighten the burden of those left behind. I, who had become close, was beginning to be pushed away for the same reason. For the one living, it was to pain those left behind just a bit less. And also, on top of hearing those rules, there was a chance she learned that which of I most feared. Say, Ona-san. Dad, Mom, where are they? I'm going to die? There, my words choked. That doesn't tell me anything. Tell me the answer. I had thought to say something, but especially at a time like this, I knew that I had to say something. Even though I was supposed to know what kindness should be, even though I was supposed to be a Catholic in order to speak of life and death. And yet, I could not find any words. Outside the window, there was a night sky that was beginning to lighten. In this narrow hospital room, the girl's sobs reverberated. Even though I was the professor, the doctor, I couldn't give an answer. At this time, if I were a real doctor of the church, if I were Augustine or Jerome, maybe I could have answered with something. Outside of the window was burning sunlight. Even though it was still early morning, the heat let you know it was going to be another midsummer day. Since last night I hadn't seen Mother. More precisely, I had been on the brink of tears myself, filled with feelings of regret, and hadn't been able to face her. I will apologize to Himeko-san. I felt really sorry to do so, but I didn't want to make Mother any more sad. Setsumi, are you awake already? Mother? It was just before Mother left for her part-time job. I'm sorry about yesterday. Well, here. The two of you eat together, okay? As she spoke, she handed over lunch boxes for two. Take care, girlie. It's fine. As your mother, I thought it over. You are my precious daughter, but I can't be you. Softly, but she spoke with her usual kind face. That's why, as your mother, I want it so that Setsumi can smile even just a bit more. I was headed to the hospital. In my hand, the tote bag with two lunches. Early morning. Abruptly, my feet stopped at the usual school. It looked like today the children hadn't come yet. As always, I was facing the metal bar, and after gazing at it a while, I quietly stretched my hand out. Placing straight into my arms, I pulled with all my might while kicking the ground. For just a moment, a sense of floating, and my body spun around. A somersault I hadn't done in a month. And then, from that slightly higher place, I looked around at the world. With arms that were beginning to shake from supporting my weight, this world that I could see. That me right now, as one of the parts that build up everyday life, might appear as if nothing was out of place. But that was an illusion. It's not like I was accepted. Placing the school behind me, I headed toward the hospital. I was sure she was waiting, so I hurried to her. Sorry to keep you waiting. Here, it's parking in the rear parking lot again. I understand. As I responded, I accepted the car key. Then I gave the message Himeko-san had entrusted to me. She said that this time would be the last. Plus, on a chat, sent that? I was told to tell you that. I see. Sadly, that was all Chihiro-san quietly murmured. Why was it you? I wonder. Behind those words was definitely a dissatisfaction towards herself for clearly being pushed away. And loneliness, sadness was there too. For being a kind and good person. Chihiro-san is different. Different? Yeah, different from us.
私たちとは違う。
I'm sorry,
悪いけど、
but I don't get your meaning.
うん、
I don't really understand it myself.
よくわからないから。
Why did I say those words, I wonder? The exact reason, not even I knew. But now, I had a feeling that I was coming to understand Himeko-san's feelings.
でもね、たとえ違ったとしても、
Okay, let's
私は
finish
妹
it
よ。
here. Because we probably will travel on another journey or trip. Yeah, that will be a trip. With our characters from game. I hope you enjoyed the story and see you in the next one. Bye!